Konami has just announced yet another brand new booster set for the OCG that has the potential to possibly become the best meta breaker in the game's history. But what is that booster set? Well, it is known as Terminal World 3. Yes, you heard me right. Terminal World 3 has just been announced, and this is basically the continuation of the Terminal World storyline, if you will, that that goes all the way back to the days of the Hidden Arsenal sets, dating all the way back to 2009, where the very first ever Hidden Arsenal set was ever released. Over time, the Hidden Arsenal sets had gotten better and better and better with each passing day. Sets that became very broken over time included Hidden Arsenal 4 Trishula's Triumph, and of course Hidden Arsenal Omega XCs, which I believe was the last Hidden Arsenal set of the series. Excuse me, before we got Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, which some people believed was the worst Hidden Arsenal set of all time. I don't see it that way. I think it's being excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that, guys. I am super tired. Literally just woke up like almost like an hour ago, almost 2 hours ago. Anyway, I wouldn't say that Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 is a bad set. I think it's just the cards that got reprinted never should have been reprinted to begin with. You know, cards like Neos and MST, just to name a couple. But the first Terminal World set, the very first Terminal World set featured new cards for Gen X, Ice Barrier, Infernoid, and Ritual Beast, or Spiritual Beast, if you will. The second Terminal World set featured new support for Fabled, Jurax, Gem Knight, and Necros. Now with Terminal World 3, it will now feature new cards, new support for four not new archetypes, but four older archetypes, including Tellarknight, Constellar, and X-Saber. In fact, I believe that was the official statement, right? Including Tellarknight plus Constellar and X-Saber. So as far as like what other archetypes we can expect, no one knows. In fact, I want to say what are the archetypes? Let's see. The archetypes, I want to say, doesn't say on Wikipedia. Let me take a look here. All dual terminal archetypes. Here we are. If I remember correctly, the archetypes that are in the dual terminal storyline are the worms, the Gem Knights, the Lavels, Gishki, Gusto, Vylon, Steel Swarm or Evil Swarm, um, Constellar, Ice Barrier, Mist Valley, and Necros. Those are I believe all of the archetypes, if I remember correctly. But so obviously you guys are fully aware, much like the last two Terminal World sets, this one will feature 5 new cards for all 4 archetypes, as well as reprints that could be useful for each archetype to build a deck around. Um, and also each pack is guaranteed to include a card that is a super parallel rare foiling or higher. We found out that this will be released on November 26th of the, or sorry, 22nd, November 22nd of this year. So about, I would say about a couple days before Thanksgiving. It's gonna be about a little under a week before Thanksgiving, which will be the 27th. Um, and there will be 84 different cards included, which will feature 8 ultra rares, 12 super rares, 26 normal parallel rares, and 12 of the pack's cards will also come in prismatic secret rare, and 40 of the pack's cards will also come in secret parallel rare as well. Now, as the reprints go, we could potentially see cards like number 11 Big Guy, and of course Crackdown, to which those cards have been announced to be reprinted in the next deck build set of Phantom Revenges, which should be released in the TCG in the next month and a half, I believe. I want to say sometime in the next month and a half we could be expecting that set. But both number 11 and Crackdown could be just two of the cards that we could potentially see get reprinted in this Terminal World set. But when you think of decks like Tellarknight and Constellar, you think of cards like Cyber Dragon Nova, Cyber Dragon Infinity. The Cyber Dragon decks you would use Constellar Pleiades, and then just rank it up into Constellar Ptolemy M7, which M7 is just super annoying to go up against, especially in Cyber Dragon. It's a pretty chaotic card to say the very least. But X-Sabers, obviously Gotham's is definitely going to be one to be expected to be reprinted. Airbellum is going to potentially get a reprint. X-Saber Urbellum, which is a nasty card in Edison format, which is wild, and I know, because my Blackwing Edison deck actually uses X-Saber Urbellum, which I did do a deck profile on my Blackwing Edison deck that I took to my locals a little over a month ago, about 2 months ago. I was playing Blackwing Edison and I got second place in that tournament. So definitely check that video out if you haven't already. It is a wild deck to play. Absolutely broken. It is absolutely broken as I'm trying to put the cards back into the deck box. Which, by the way, shoutouts to Imperium Duelists for the border sleeves. I got them from Imperium Duelists. So Shoutouts to them. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. They the shipping the shipping and the delivery process was spot on. Would definitely I definitely would love to get sponsored by them. So Imperium Duels, if you guys are watching this, hit me up. Hit me up and let's talk. Let's talk. But anyway, cards like cards like X-Saber Urbellum, Full Troll could is definitely going to be one to be expected to get reprinted. Um, there are just so many other cards. Teller Knight, oh my god, what's that one? Teller Knight Diamond. I think the rank 4. I don't remember the name of it. Um, but that card could definitely make its way into the set. But as far as like what other cards we could see get reprinted, again, cards like Crackdown, number 11 Big Eye could definitely be ones that we could see get reprinted at some point in that set. But even if we don't, I think honestly this set might just be one of the better ones because of the fact that X Sabers were pretty useful. They were somewhat useful during the days of Edison format, and I believe, and if I remember correctly, if I remember right, the decks that were used during Edison again were decks like Blackwing, Vayu Turbo, Blackwing Hybrid, Hero Frog, Junk Frog, Hero Beat, Diva Hero Beat, Diva Hero, Diva Zombie, Dragon Turbo, Light Sworn, um, and I think X Saber was also used during this time, if I remember correctly. Yes, I was. Yes, X Saber was used during the days of Edison, but it wasn't that good. It wasn't that great of a deck. Um, but that deck was mainly used as like a casual play. Perfect for for playground for like playground Yu-Gi-Oh, if you will. And so the Edison X Saber deck used three Giant Rat, three Emer's Blade, three Full Helm Knight, one one Galahad, one one Rakigura, one Rescue Cat, one Raiko, three Airbellum, a Rhoda, one MST, one Heavy Storm, one Braincon, one Minecon, three Book of Moon, a level limit area B, which was very funny. Gravity Bind, Solemn Judgment, Mirror Force, Double Bottomless, Triple D Prison, Triple Golem's Emergency Call, a Call of the Haunted, and three Full Troll. The extra deck would consist of Armory Arm, Catastor, Double X Saber Hyunli, Bryonic, Goyo Guardian, Arcanine Magician, Ancient Fairy Dragon, X Saber Urbellum, Black Rose Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Dark End Dragon, Colossal Fighter, Mistworm, Double X Saber Golems, and of course Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. And then the side deck you would have three Pulling the Rug, perfect, obviously perfect for the Monarchs. Two Trap Stun, two Dust Tornado, two My Body is a Shield, three Kaiku, two Cyber Dragon, and a Starlight Road, obviously for the Stardust Dragon. So, I mean, the deck is good. I mean, again, the deck was good, but it wasn't as like it wasn't as impactful as as Blackwing was, and Diva Hero, and and also Diva Hero Beat, which even Diva Hero Beat was just a crazy card a crazy deck to play against. Obviously, having cards like Diva, DD Warrior, Lady, Honest, Stratos, E-Call, Rhoda, just all these cards that I mentioned, absolutely wild. But going back to Terminal World 3, there are just so many different cards that we can see get reprinted, but I'm pretty sure that it's gonna end up the same way as the other two, where all the reprints will just be cards from that specific archetype. So when you think of card of archetypes such as the sabers, you think of you think of Gotham's Z-Call, Gotham's Hyunli, you think of Sword of Sparkles, which I think that was an X-Saber card. So Sword of Sparkles, just to name a couple. We're possibly gonna see those get reprinted. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw MX Saber Invoker get a reprint, because that card has been heavily banned for so many years. In fact, I think it's been banned for, I want to say, a good 7 years. I think it's been banned for about 7 years. So it's been quite a long time. Is it possible that Invoker could come off the ban list? Absolutely, it could definitely come off the ban list, mainly because of the fact that there's just so many decks in the format that they're just too quick, if you will. Invoker is more of a slower paced card, if you will. So it's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm not really sure exactly what new cards we can expect for each archetype. When you think of X Saber, it's probably a couple new synchros, maybe a new main deck monster, maybe even a new like, probably a retrain of Invoker, which could potentially incite Konami to unban Invoker, which, I mean, that would be okay, but I don't know if that would be the wise decision. I mean, I know what I said about Invoker, being okay to be taken off the ban list, but imagine what happens if they did, right? If they took it off the ban list, Invoker could just completely just decimate. It could just decimate the it could completely it could just completely, like, decimate the the matter, because when you look at its effect, right? It says once per turn you can detach a material from this card, special summon a level 4 Earth Warrior or Beast Warrior from your deck in defense, but destroy during the end phase. This incited so many different FTKs. I'm surprised that Konami did indeed ban it in the TCG, but in the OCG it's completely legal. It's perfectly fine, which is absolutely crazy. And what's even more funny is that this card has had only 4 printings over time. The first was back on January 20th, 2012, with Order of Chaos as a secret rare. The second printing was in March was at the end of March in 2017 with Duelist Saga, to which I opened up that box a long time ago. So if you guys have not checked out that set, if you haven't checked out that opening, I recommend you guys check it out. The opening, my pulls back then were just absolutely nuts. Back then, nowadays they're like whatever. They're like whatever. If I were to open up that set again now, it would just be like whatever. The third printing was Battles of Legend Light's Revenge, just 4 months later, as a secret rare as a secret rare. So think about that. 4 months later, after Duel Saga, and then the last printing was back in April. was back in April of this year in Quarter Century Stampede, both as a Platinum Secret and a QCR. Think about that. So MX Saber Invoker, we could potentially see that card get added to the set. But what if it were to get released in the TCG? It's possible, but we will have to wait and see. I will close out the video by saying this. I think no matter what new cards we see get printed in this set, I can honestly tell you that as far as the TCG goes, we might see these get released in a future future Maze of Millennia set. We could see them get printed in a future core set, which would be interesting. But I think it'll most likely be in a future 10 at some point, but we don't know when. But again, Terminal World 3 definitely it's definitely gonna be a potential meta breaker because X Sabers, they could be the deck to beat. It's very possible, but we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more Yu-Gi-Oh topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.